What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jimmy. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm feeling a bit of a spring in my step. And if you can tell by the title, we're going to be talking about the best CAC game that has ever come out of Dragon Ball, which is cringe, Ultimate Tenkaichi. And you know what? There's some of you out there that are going to be like, what are you talking about? You taking your pills again, are you, Jimmy? Nah, man. I'm clean. I'm not on my pill. I am speaking nothing but the truth. And there's some out there that will be, you know, you'll understand what I mean. Alright, now let's just get into the video, shall we? Now let's just start off with a couple of the points that I will say before I get into the top features that Ultimate Tenkaichi had that they did better than Xenoverse 2. But before that, I will put some disclaimers in here. I'm not shit talking Xenoverse because Xenoverse is still a good game. I'm gonna say Xenoverse 2 because I don't know. Yeah, Xenoverse 2, because I don't count Xenoverse because I feel like Xenoverse and Xenoverse 2 are pretty much the same game, to me. So, I'm just going to say Xenoverse 2. I'm not going to say Xenoverse. I'm just going to say Xenoverse 2. It was a good game, and, you know, I feel like if they didn't try to bring it out within a year of bringing out Xenoverse 1, they could have done a lot better job with the game and actually given us what we want. Anyway, let's get into the next point, which is, I will also say that the only race that was available in the game were half Saiyans / Saiyans. I don't really know which category you want to put them in. And also there was no female options, so I will put that in there. So for character modeling and stuff, it might not have taken as long. But I mean, that's arguable because there was still like 3 years between Raging Blast 2 and Ultimate Tenkaichi, I'm pretty sure. So it's not that big a difference in my mind. But I mean, compared to the technology and the capabilities that gaming companies have now, I feel like it might not be as big a deal. Anyway, also keep in mind that the fixed battle style of Ultimate Tenkaichi is not so free flow as Xenoverse, so it might have been a little easier to model because the character's movement was a bit more restricted in Ultimate Tenkaichi, so I will say that. And there weren't as many characters, so they probably had a lot more, because Ultimate Tenkaichi definitely centered more around the hero mode. Like, you could definitely tell because the story mode wasn't that great, and the hero mode was kind of like all focused around the CAC. But without further ado, let's get into why the CAC was still better than Xenoverse, despite that. Alright, so top features. Let's just start from the top. So character body types had better proportions, and by this, you know, they had the kid form, so you could make your little teenage character, you could have like the young adult character, and then you could have like the more bulker, sort of big boy sort of body type. They were like the 3 body types, and I feel like the proportions were a lot better, definitely, than Xenoverse, because Xenoverse, like I've said in previous videos, Xenoverse body types are essentially just scaled down, proportions and everything just smaller, and it just didn't look right. Because we know exactly what they were going for with the making your character shorter, but the proportions were just wrong. The proportions were wrong. Like, you could not make a small character. A small character literally just looked like a bigger character, just scaled down. Proportions and everything were exactly the same, and that's not exactly how that should have worked, because when you go smaller, obviously you're trying to mimic, we'll say a teenage or kid character, and the proportions of a kid character or a teenage character is different to that of an adult character, obviously, because the body, like if you just look at Gohan, for example, Gohan has a bigger head than the rest of his body. We'll just use that as a sort of thing. His arms aren't as big because obviously kids aren't able to amass that amount of body muscle. But I don't know. Look, I'm just saying, proportions were a bit weird with Xenoverse. So they definitely did the body types a lot better in Ultimate Tenkaichi, which says something, especially for a 7-year-old game, or we'll say 5-year-old game, compared to when Xenoverse came out, if I'm correct on the release date of Ultimate Tenkaichi. Hairstyles actually changed with transformations. Now this is a big thing that has been a massive, it's just bothered everyone. Everyone has been bothered by this. It limits your use of hairstyles with your characters. Like, I mean, I know this might not seem like a big thing, but for a CAC game that is based on Dragon Ball Z, if you're playing a Saiyan, you don't want to be limited to like 2 or 3 hairstyles that actually go with Saiyan. You want to be able to use every hairstyle, having every hairstyle actually change with your transformation. I mean, I feel like that's not really a big thing to ask, you know, because, for example, transformation like Hidden Potential, just for example, Hidden Potential definitely would take advantage of the whole, you know, changing a hairstyle. Kaioken, as we saw, Kaioken doesn't really change a hairstyle. it's kind of just it's like a power up. It's like a physical power up. It doesn't really shroud you in like an aura of any sort. Like obviously the red aura, but I don't know. It doesn't change your hair like Hidden Potential does, and I don't know why. I don't really understand why it does that, but it does that. So, what else? Yeah. So hairstyles obviously is like we just said, hairstyles they need to fix them. Ultimate Tenkaichi did hairstyles right. I don't know. Not to mention all costumes could change colors. This is not really a big deal, but it is definitely something that I found to be, it bugged me a little bit in Xenoverse. Xenoverse 2 obviously I was just used to it by then, but in Xenoverse it bugged me a little bit that you couldn't do that. But, you know, it is what it is. I understand what they were doing. They're staying true to the actual costumes from those characters. I get it. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But it is one of the things in Ultimate Tenkaichi that you could do. Sorry. You could adopt battle styles from your masters. This was like a thing with your masters in Ultimate Tenkaichi. When you trained under a certain trainer, you would adopt their battle styles after you completed them. So you would get the combos of, say, Gogeta if you trained under Gogeta, or if you trained under Vegeta, you would get Vegeta's battle style. I feel like this obviously is, you can make the argument that because it was only a Saiyan character, it was a lot easier to do that. You can't really do the same thing with, say, a Margin character or a Frieza character for some of those battle styles. But I mean, to that I say, why not? Really, you just limit the battle styles that are available for some of those races. Like, for example, I don't know, it doesn't seem like that big a deal. You could just make some of the battle styles not accessible by certain races. But for the most part, I don't see why most races couldn't get some of that stuff. You know, it just doesn't make. I don't know. Look, I'm not a game developer, so I don't know, but it is one of the things in Ultimate Tenkaichi that was nice, and I did enjoy it, 100%. Like, it's definitely one, like, the hero mode in Ultimate Tenkaichi was definitely really, really good for its time. I will say, it was, yeah, very hype, very hype. I hated the gameplay, but I loved the CAC, and that's what kept me playing. Better customizability, I don't even know if that's a word, but I just wrote that down, with Aura Ki Blast, as you could change your character's Aura and Ki Blast types. So in Ultimate Tenkaichi, if I remember correctly, I don't know about the Ki Blast, but I know you could change your aura. Aura was definitely a thing you could actually change colors. Not a big deal. Once again, it's more of a cosmetic thing, but it's definitely something that helps you kind of attach yourself to your character a bit more, especially, and the Ki Blast, once again, that's arguable because obviously in Xenoverse, you kind of can change your Ki Blast, but it's more of a charged, fixed Ki Blast, and every race has a different Ki Blast type, so I mean, we can make a compromise there. I'm not too worried about that. But the aura types, I mean, you know, obviously, once again, aura changes with each race. I'm pretty sure, for the most part. But it would be nice to have a little bit of customizability there. Also, one thing that Xenoverse didn't have that bugged me a little bit because of what the theme of the game was. The theme of the game is going back in time and fixing the history. And what really bugged me about Xenoverse, and obviously they probably just didn't have enough resources or time to do this, but they didn't add an original story mode into Xenoverse, like where you could actually play through the original storyline. Like, it didn't, to me, the point of the game was that you fix time, so it didn't make sense to have this was mainly in Xenoverse 2 that this bugged me. It didn't make sense for you to have a hero academy where everyone learnt about the history learnt about history and everything, and not be able to play through the original story stuff. Like, I feel like they definitely misused that hero academy, because when I saw that there was a hero academy, I thought for sure that they were going to add an original story, like a dragon history mode into the game with that dragon story, because then you'd be able to play through like some of the original story fights, and I thought that would have been really cool, but they didn't do that. So I mean, it is what it is. You can make the argument that time patrol missions is pretty much that. You play through most of the story, but you play with your CAC, and you know, yes, there is a part where, yeah, that is true, but it's also, you got to also remember that some of those time patrol missions are also fixed to be different. Like, I don't know, they're also not true to the anime either, but you know, it is what it is. It didn't really bother me that much. I think time patrol missions are fun. I just thought that it was a bit of a missed opportunity not to add a dragon history mode. But once again, you know, you know, it is what it is. 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 Anyway, I think that's it. That's all I had to really rant about. We're at 10 minutes, so that's good. Made good time. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you agreed with anything I said in this video, let me know down in the comments. If you've got any like things to add to what I've said, then, you know, let me know. Once again, guys, I'm not a game developer. I don't know what goes into making these games. It's just, it doesn't make sense to not be able to implement these things in a game, in a 2016 game, compared to what, like a 2010 game. When did Ultimate Tenkaichi come out? Ultimate Tenkaichi came out in 2011. So, I mean, 5 years difference. I feel like they could have added those things, considering it's a 5-year-old game. But they missed it. They missed it. And it's one of the things that ruins Xenoverse for me. But, you know, it is what it is. I'll see you guys in the next one. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, if you did enjoy this, let me know what you guys think. Slap a like. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.